Hello students, I am Srishti Tiwari here. Today we are going to discuss about the environmental factor contributes to our health. That is waste. We will have just a review of the what are the factors that includes our health. Water, housing, air, ventilation, waste, orthopods, noise and lighting. And already we have discussed the water and air in the last class. So today we will start with the waste. We will see what is waste. Waste is also known as garbage, rubbish, junk, trash, litter, refuse and odd. These all are synonyms of waste. In the next slide we will see the definition of waste. In the definition, any material or any substance that is unwanted or useless, that is known as waste. In according to the biology, so they have said that any substance or any toxin that is expelled from the living organism and they are by the action of metabolic, so they are producing the urea and sweat. This is known as biological waste or metabolic waste, and this is the definition that is given by the United Nations Environment Program. Next one is the disposal. Disposal means is not that the whatever things that has to be discarded or that has to be not in use. Disposal is leads to reuse, recycling, reclamation and resource recovery. Reclamation means improvement or correction. In the next we will see the classification of waste according to their origin and types. So what are the classification? First one is municipal waste. Municipal waste is also known as trash or garbage. It consists of the items that we use every day. What are they? They are that can be the grass clippings, furnitures, clothing, bottles, food scraps, newspaper, paint and batteries, etc. So from where they will be generated? They will be generated from our house, schools, hospitals and business. Next one is biomedical waste. Biomedical waste is also known as biohazardous waste. So the waste is being generated during the medical research, testing, diagnosis process, immunization or treatment of either human beings or for the animals. This is known as medical waste. In this picture you can see. Third one is industrial waste. Industrial waste is the waste produced by the industrial activities which includes any material that is rendered useless. The material which is useless during the manufacturing process. This is known as industrial waste. Next one is agricultural waste. Agricultural waste is defined as unwanted waste produced as a result of agricultural activities. Means the example can be the fertilizer, pesticides or herbicides or any manure or any oil. In the picture you can see this is the paddy straw. This is the example of agricultural waste. Next one is fishery waste. By the name itself you can know it about it. The fishery waste is it includes fish of species that are having low commercial value, means they are not being in use, means they are waste, that is known as fishery waste. Next one is the radioactive waste. Radioactive waste is a type of hazardous waste that contains radioactive material. So one example of radioactive waste is uranium. Last one is e-waste. E-waste or electronic waste. Nowadays the people are having the desire of changing the mobile phone frequently. So this may lead to the electronic devices, means electronic device waste or electronic waste. In the next we will see. So in waste is having very huge part according to your syllabus. So I have divided it into the three parts. In the first we will see the garbage or solid waste. We will see the garbage and its method of disposal. In the second part, we will discuss about the excreta and its method of disposal, and in the third part we will discuss about the sewage and the sewage treatment plan. So in the last we will discuss about the first part, and remaining two parts we will discuss in the next upcoming classes. So we will start with the garbage. What is garbage? In the garbage we will discuss what is the resources of garbage or solid waste, and what is the storage of that, how it has to be stored, and how it has to be collected, and how it has to be transported, and the method of disposal we will discuss in this class. In the next slide we will see about the definition of waste, or what is solid waste. Solid waste is a garbage or anything that are being produced by the home or by the domestic waste. That can be the food scrap, any paper material. So these all are garbages. Next one is demolition products. Demolition products that includes bricks, means the by the deconstruction of any buildings, whatever the material are being produced, that is known as the demolition products. Next one is the rubbish. Rubbish includes paper, plastic, wood, metal and glasses. And the fourth one is the dead animals. These are also known as solid waste. And the last one is the sewage treatment residue. Means in the cities, as to manage the drainage system, one sewage is used to made, and the sewage is being used to open in some, we can say, in the river and all. And if we will treat the sewage, so whatever the residue is being produced by the treatment of sewage, that is also known as solid waste. So in the next we will see in this diagram we can see the waste generation per capita per day in kg, means one person how much kilogram waste is produces per day. In this diagram, these countries are having high level of producing the excreta, waste per capita per day, means one individual is producing the waste approximately 4.5 kg per day in these countries. And this yellow is denoting this is the moderate, means these countries are having the waste generation per capita per day is moderate level. We can say in India, for India we can see this is the level, this is the 0.5 kg, means in the India the per capita of producing waste is a 0.5 kg. One person is producing waste is 0.5 kg or to the 1 kg, means 0.5 to 1 kg. And this green countries that we can say, this they are having the low level of waste generating capita per day, that is in kg. In the next slide we will see the global population, means the sharing of the global municipal solid waste in the whole world. In this picture, blue one is denoting the share of global population, means which country is sharing how much population in the world. And the sharing of global municipal solid waste, means the how this country is producing how much waste in the world. In this, for India, if we'll talk about India, it is sharing 18% of global population, and the United States is sharing the 4% of total population in the world. And if we will talk about the share of global municipal waste, municipal solid waste, so they are having the equal value, means 12%. Though if we will talk the population, here the population of India is high and the population of US is low, and they are producing the high global municipal solid waste, because they are having the 4.5 per kg per capita per day, means waste producing means one individual is producing 4.5 kg waste per day. Because of that, in this slide we can say means how what are the products and what are the materials are including in the waste. Mainly the 49.1% means polythene or bags or wrappers are contributing in the waste. This is the most. And in this diagram, as we can see, this is the total generation of waste in India. This is the 60 metric ton. This is the 60 metric ton is the total generation of waste in India. And if we will talk about the treatment, so treatment is being done only the 40%, means 30% by the dumping and 10% is being treated. Sorry, here the percentage will not be used, matrix ton will be used. So if the deficit, if we will talk about the deficit in the treatment and the generation, so the 20 metric ton deficit is been taken place here, so it has to be treated and it has to be taken care of it. In this slide we will talk the how the solid waste is having the health hazardous factors, means how they are contributing to health hazards. It attracts the rodents and vermins, such as rodents means rats and all, and it giving the favor environment for the flies breeding. If the flies breeding will be there, so automatically the flies population will get increase, so automatically they will be the health hazardous for us. And if they will be sitting on the solid waste and they will carry some microorganism to the houses and to the food, and it is a carrier of microorganism, we can say. And here the if there will be the heaps of the solid waste will be there, it will give unsightly appearance and the nuisance from the bad odor. And if I have already told, the flies will sit on the solid waste and they will carry the microorganism and they will sit on the human's food, and it will be health hazardous for the human being. In the next we will see the resources or sources of refuse from the where the waste is being produced. So first one is street refuse, market refuse, litter, industrial refuse and domestic refuse. We will discuss one by one. Street refuse is that it is collected by the street cleansing services, and the scavenging is called street refuse. Second one is market refuse. Market refuse consists of leaves, straw, papers, animals, droppings and litter of all kinds. Third one is litter. Litter, as in the picture you can see, when the publics or population are mostly is being used bottles and the tumblers, disposable tumblers, and after using it they used to throw on anywhere, that is known as litter. Industrial refuse, as I have already told, industrial refuse is being produced by the industrial activities and the manufacturing process. And the domestic refuse is consist of ash, rubbish and the garbages, whatever the things that we are using on the daily basis, from that whatever the waste particle is being produced, that is known as domestic refuse. Next we will see the storage. This is the most notable thing and this is the most considerable thing in the management of solid waste or garbage, we can say. So in this, the proper storage of refuse before the collection, means for awaiting collection, the proper storage of the waste should be there, and the galvanized steel dustbin should be used, and close fitting cover should be there, and the paper sack and public bins. This is the paper sack and this is the public bins. Paper sack, this is mostly is being used in the US countries. Mainly in this they used to throw the waste, and when the collection is being done they used to throw this paper sack also, and when they used to collect the next waste they are using the new paper sack. And the public bins, you can see here the color coding is mainly for the segregation of the waste. For if the segregation waste will be the proper, it will help in the recycling of the waste properly. Next we will see the collection. This is also the important thing that we have to notice. It is mainly depend on the what is the fund is available. So house to house collection is the best method of collecting waste. And if the house to house collection will be there, so simultaneously the reduction in the number of public bins will be there, and whatever the dead animals are that has to be directly transported to the disposal places. In the next here, whatever the open cart was were being used for the collection of waste, it has to be replaced by the closed vans. That van has not to be open, it has to be closed. And mechanical transport should be used whenever it is possible, so it will be more practical and economic. According to the environmental hygiene and committee, it has recommended the whatever the municipal polities and the local bodies are there, they are having the responsibility of collecting the waste from individual houses, not from only the public bins. Next we will see about the method of disposal. This is the important thing that you have to focus on it. This is some principle are being used for the disposal of waste. First one is dumping, second one is controlled tipping or sanitary landfillings, third one is incineration, fourth one is composting, fifth one is manure pits, and last one is burial. In this the percentage is being shared of disposal, means what method is being used mostly. In this picture, as we can see, this is a 33%. Mostly the open dump method or principle is being used for the disposal of waste, because it is very easy to throw the waste anywhere. So it is very bad thing that should not be there, so it has to be take care of it. And first one is dumping. We will discuss. Dumping is being only used in the low lying areas, and the method of reclamation of the land, but mainly is an easy method of disposal. But the WHO expert committee is saying that is the mostly insanitary method and creates public health hazards, because it is an open, means the waste are being thrown in the open area, so that's why it is a public health hazardous. In this we can say some drawbacks of the open dumping are: refuse is exposed to the flies and rodents, means it is attracting the flies and rodents, and ultimately it will affect our health. And it gives the nuisance from the smell and unsightly appearance it used to give, and loses refuse is a dispersed by the action of wind, means when the in the open discarded of the waste will be there, so by the wind it will be get dispersed. And the drainage and the dumps contributes to the population of pollution of the surface and the groundwater. As in the picture you can see, the dumping process is being taking place here. So they are dumping the waste in the any river, and so ultimately it will pollute the surface and the groundwater. In the next slide we will see the controlled tipping. Controlled tipping is also known as sanitary landfilling. It is a most satisfactory method of refuse disposal or the garbage disposal. There are three methods mainly are being used: trench method, ram method, and area method. We will discuss one by one. Trench method, in this picture as you can see, this is the trench is being made with the help of bulldozer or some equipments you can say, and this trench will be filled with the means this waste and all, and after the filling this trench it has to be covered with the earth soil. And this is the area method. area method is mainly being used in the terrain area and the low lying area, means where the natural pits are there. So this has to, they are being filled with the solid waste, and after that the cover with the earth soil will be there. So this process will be going on till the normal earth will not takes place, till there the area method will be going on. Next we will see the incineration. Incineration is the hygienically disposal of waste by the process of burning, and this method is mainly being chosen when the suitable land is not available. And this is the hospital refuse, means the hospital refuse are mainly dangerous. That's why this process is mainly used for to treat the biohazardous waste or the biomedical waste. In the next we will see about the composting. Composting is a very nice process because it gives the natural manure for the agricultural areas, and there are mainly two methods are being used, Bangalore method and the mechanical method. Bangalore method is also known as anaerobic method, means here the absence of oxygen will be there, and in the mechanical method the presence of oxygen will be there. We will discuss one by one. Bangalore method, it is also known as anaerobic method. This method is introduced by the L.N. Acharya in 1939 at the International Institute of Science, Indian Institute of Science in Bangalore. In this method, mainly in the tip or in the trench, the disposal of the waste is taking place, and it has to be closed off, and by the help of bacteria or microbes they are being in the form of compost or the manure. So it is taking the time, that is 4 to 6 months. And in the next we will see about the mechanical method. Mechanical method is introduced by the A. Howard and Y. D. Yard. In this, mainly as in the picture you can see, it is an open process for the composting of the material or the any waste. So it is taking the time, means the material it has to be turned specifically intervals. So first turn has to be in the 4 to 7 days, and second turn has to be done after the 5 to 10 days. So for the composting is being done within the 6 weeks, and in the Bangalore method it is taking 4 to 6 months, and here it is taking 6 weeks. In the next slide we will see about the manure pits. Manure pits is mainly being used in the village areas or in the rural areas, and it is mainly it is dissolved or solved by the making a dig. It can be used by the individual houses also. So whatever the garbage is cattle dung and straw and leaves should be dumped in the manure pit, and it has to be covered with the earth and each day after dumping. In the next slide we will see about the burial. Burial method is mainly being used for the small camps, mainly trench, that is 1.5 meter it has to be. So whatever the waste are being produced by the small camps, that has to be filled in the trench, and it has to be covered, and it taken it out after 4 to 6 months and used in the fields. In the next slide we will see that is some international cooperation that have being emphasis on the proper sanitary services, and WHO also has been emphasis on the proper disposal of the waste should be proper. And public education is also very important, because when the public will be aware, the management of the waste will be nice, and whatever the health hazards is being produced by this, that will be low. And the economic process, if the proper transportation, storage and the collection of waste will be there, so ultimately the economic process of our India will be improved. So guys, if you people are having any doubt, you can ask in the comment section. I will try to clear your doubt. So thank you all.